Restoration is brought to you by
Darling, find your beautiful.
Just good day, every day.
Nestle, good food, good life.
Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Yes, extra long sanitary pad for extra comfort.
We got yes protection.
It's another amazing week and we're here on Restoration. My name is Stacy, and before we set the ball rolling, let's hear a word from our sponsors.
Come on. Keep up with me. Let's go. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. I'ma keep winning till the world stops. Independent women, let's go. Keep up with me, come on. Winning till the world stops spinning. Keep up with me, come on, let's go. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. Independent women, come on, now let's get it. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. Africa, you feel me? Come on, now let's get it.
New styles from Darling, find your beautiful.
Breakfast good day, every day.
Nestle, good food, good life.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Madam Hisense.
Mera Fefe, when you be Biana.
Anio, Madam Hisense. Edumente ya mama impontem. Inti nanka me pe microwave baako. Na ya me dia coming kwine me for e papa bishi. Na ya so unhwe no a rice cooker no. Nanka me dia no amo eni ampese no metumi nya adaaje. Ahwe me series ne kama.
Mera, me mwana.
Madam Hisense, me the gas cooker na me hia o. Me e caterer inti me hia gas cooker me de be nnuane different. Now at the same time, the sans oven na me de be baking. Na masadi agrele me na.
Madam Hisense.
Hello.
This year dem pese me boa me here in kitchen. Na me here blender. Blender meet me dia nyam dia boa no. Na fe so meet me di aye juice dia man kola no.
Abusiafo, say the demand na doson. Obi aso ne request. Me ba cha mumra. When you na mumra. Every 18th October, I come 8th November. Hisense garden nyina. Ya titi so say, I am the first ever Hisense kitchen appliance promo. Gas cooker, electric cooker, rice cooker, microwave oven, blender, kettle, steamer. Hisense nyina ye papa. Entry power. You use so nya den. Na dia ye dia Hisense nyina ye stainless steel. Inti amano nyina achi. Wo kitchen nyama dada ni nyina. Amra so say wo piegu baabi. Na tutu mika ko Hisense showroom bia. Can who say ya titi so say I am the first ever Hisense kitchen appliance promo. Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people.
I remember the days I just couldn't go to the gym because it was that time of the month. Yas extra long sanitary pad took the worry away. Easy.
Yes, comfort, I got. Yes, confidence, I got. Yes.
The new Yas extra long sanitary pad is the joy of every woman. It is extra absorbent and fits perfect. Don't allow anything to hold you back when it's that time.
Wow.
Yes.
Feel confident, stay fresh.
Hi. It's supposed to be that time of the month?
Yes. I got. Yes, confidence, I got.
Yes.
We got yes protection. I got.
Yas extra long sanitary pad for extra comfort.
We got yes protection.
Breakfast good day, every day.
Nestle, good food, good life.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Restoration.
We're saying a very big thank you to our donors, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, GTP, to Jim Ray Estates. And Jim Ray Estates is giving you the opportunity to own a land. And I am just advising you, don't own just a land. Own 2 lands so they can give you 1 land for free, because they have the buy 2 get 1 for free promo. And all you have to do is call them, and when you do, they will take you to their West Palm Hills location, which is about 15 minutes drive from Kaswa. And when you go there, you will thank me someday. So you can call Jim Ray today, and when you do call them, tell them I asked you to get in touch. A very big thank you also going out to Ophelia of ABS Collection. Ophelia is located at Dansuman Zodiac near the MTN office. Ophelia is responsible for my outfit. Thank you very much. My makeup is by GH Beauty Artistry, and my hair is by Abiba Locks. There is one thing you need to understand about life. People would not always like you because they don't know you. And the funny part is they would never get to know you just because they don't like you. But that should not stop you from doing or believing in whatever you think you can achieve. The perception of people does not in any way determine who you truly are. You are the only one who can truly determine who you are and who you want to be. When I meet people who are full of life, my life kind of quadruples. So today, expect me in my elements. That's a promise. And I'm even much more in my elements because Hisense is going to be kind to some people in the audience. How many of you want to get something from Hisense? Okay, so let's see how many of you are going to get lucky today. And someone home actually got a visit from me within the week for our super Hisense crazy giveaway. And in our studio, our guests would also have to go through the drill. So let's see what she will get to take home. So please, let's welcome our guest for this week, Madam Cynthia Quarcoo. Hi, Cynthia.
Hi, finally.
Finally.
I know.
After how many attempts?
Yes, but it's always the right timing. God's timing is the best.
You see, and it tells you I don't give up.
Yes.
At all. Yes. Every time you're like...
Actually, it's the other way. I've been pursuing it. No, has it not been?
Both of us.
Okay.
It's been a two-way run, and we are glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Absolutely humbled, and a beautiful audience out there.
Who is Cynthia Quarcoo?
Cynthia Quarcoo is a young girl, like many young girls were born every day, who had a dream. And that the dream was really to live her destiny. What God had brought her to earth to do, she wanted to achieve. I like to think that Cynthia Quarcoo is authentic, confident in who she is, blessed by God, favored, and just thankful for being given the opportunity to be here. There were times that I didn't think I would be here, but God has kept me here. And I felt that if He's kept me here, then He kept me here for a reason. That reason is unfolding. And it changes, but I'm a vessel.
Growing up, I learned you wanted to be a singer. What changed?
Okay, so I was born into a very academic, typical African family, academic family. My mother was an auditor, so she came from an accountant background. My father was a medical doctor. And so when I announced to them, probably at the age of about 7, 8, that I wanted to be a singer, they thought, cute. Okay, we'll take you to take some ballet lessons, and you can do some singing lessons, and that should cover it. But I think it was just the generation that we lived in at the time, and most people inspired and wanted their children to be academics. Creativity at that time wasn't something that was celebrated. Yes, I did want to be a singer, and I remember vividly being amongst, I come from a family of a lot of lawyers, and amongst 3 of my uncles who are still very successful and lawyers today. And I would announce that I wanted to be a singer. And they said, oh, you're going to be a lawyer. And I was like, no, I'm not going to be a lawyer. I'm going to be a singer. And it's happened. So, I mean, there's just so much to be thankful for. But that was my first dream, was to be a dancer and a singer, actually.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And you ended up being a lawyer.
Yeah.
The day you graduated, I'm sure your uncles were like, we told you so.
Yes. One of them in particular is like, I told you.
The joke's on you.
Then my mother wanted me to go to medical school. But I was so stubborn. I think the word that they'll use is stubborn, but I think it was determined. I knew what I wanted to do. So I didn't go to university. I dropped out. Yeah.
You did?
I did. And I went and worked. So the first job I ever got was to work in a shop called Harrods in England, which is one of the most expensive high-end shops. Yeah. And even how I got that job in itself was amazing, because I was looking for a summer job, and I walked in there and I said, I'm looking for a Saturday job. They gave me an application. I marveled at the shop itself. So I would just go, most of us used to do that, just, walk around Harrods. And I went into their department and filled out the forms, and they called me in for an interview. And at this interview, I was interviewing for a sales assistant job. And there was a lady on the panel who was a fashion buyer. And she asked, would you be interested in becoming a buyer's assistant? And I said, what's a buyer's assistant? She said, when we go out there to pick clothes for the shops, we work with our assistants. And I thought it sounded cute. She interviewed me and she gave me the job. Wow. So I thought, okay, I'd rather work within the fashion industry. So I worked as a buyer's assistant for a little while, dabbled in worked in a cosmetic house, Fashion Fair at the time, worked in shops like Selfridges. And then I got married and had kids. So, at this time, my mother especially was like, oh my God, all that school fees, Lord.
Gone to waste.
It's gone to waste. And for me, the journey was different, because I knew, even though I had admission to some of the top universities, that wasn't my path. I knew. So I did the right thing. I don't even know whether I was prayerful enough at that stage to say that I prayed to God and God gave me. It wasn't that. But there was just something inside me that said... You were just
focused.
I was very focused. I knew that that's not it. So I had my first daughter. Then after I had my first daughter, everything changed.
Whoa.
Yeah. Everything changed, yes. In terms of my perception, I think that's when my destiny became almost life for me in my mind as to where I was going. And everything I have achieved has been because of my children. Because I went on to have 6 children, by the way. So I have 6, okay? So I needed to better myself. When I had
an upgrade.
An upgrade. When I had it, I realized I want the best for my children. I have to be my child's role model. So I'm going to do the best. So I think, then I had a second one. So I sort of dabbled in different types of work, worked in, administrative roles, but I've always sort of been able to get into the top echelons of whatever I did, okay? Then I decided to go back to university. And I didn't tell my mom. So I applied. After 2 kids. So I applied and I got an offer to go and read economics. So it made sense. So I embarked on my course, and I think in the second year of that, so I was juggling being a young mother with having 2 children, which was quite, and going to school. But that's when I knew that I was a very determined person. When I set my eyes on something, somehow I got to achieve it. So 2 years after that, decided, okay, I would do a law course. So it was at the time, Europe was going through the whole merger of the EU. So it was something very topical. And I thought, I'll take a course in EU law. So I did. Enjoyed law so much that towards the end of the second year, I decided to do a combined degree rather than major in economics. Another thing that I found at a very early age was connections with people and never burning bridges, in terms of, because I was born an only child. Let me go back. So I was born an only child until I was 15. And I learned very quickly that whoever I met became family. My friends became my family. My cousins became my family. But I learned very early the value in staying connected to people. Okay, so fast forward, finished my first degree. At the time, I then had 3 or 4 children, actually. So in between all of this, I was studying. Yeah. So I mean, literally, I was that mother who would be breastfeeding and reading, and I would recite my notes into a recorder and listen.
Oh, so you just listen?
Yes, because I needed to keep my hands free. So I was always, I had kids. I think I had 3 or 4 kids at the time. So I went to my old lecturer and I sat down with her and I said, I finished this course, and it happened to be my law lecture actually. And I would always keep in touch with people. So I would send Christmas cards,
birthday
I would
cards.
remember birthdays. It didn't matter who you were. I would always remember somebody, and I would send a note and say, I'm just checking on you to make sure you're okay. At the time, I think it was natural, but the value in that I will explain to you, and the importance of making sure you don't bend bridges. So I sat down with her, and she said, have you thought about doing law? And I said, why? She said, you're actually very good at it. I said, I'm not sure I can afford it, because I'm in England. I mean, at this time, you're not a trust fund baby. Parents are not sending you money anymore. You're working. I have children. I said, I'm paying. She said, you know what? There's a scholarship scheme. So why don't you apply? And it turned out that law school entrance applications were 2 weeks away. So you see the timing of me meeting with her. So I said, I'll put it in anyway. So I did. And she said, would you give me a recommendation? She said, I'll give you a recommendation. And then she sort of showed me the ropes to apply for a scholarship. And I'm looking at myself and thinking, I'm a mother of 4 scholarship. No, it wasn't. I was a mother of 98. I was a mother of 2 then still, by the way, still 2. But I was pregnant with my 3rd.
Busy.
Sorry. So I'm like, but who's going to give me a scholarship? So I applied for the scholarship anyway, and then I was shortlisted. So I did get into law school. Then it was a matter of how do you pay for this law school? And I got shortlisted, went in for the interview, and I was offered a full scholarship.
Whoa.
And it was impressive because, again, time and age is nothing, okay? Make the most of it. But at the time, I thought, these young law students going to law school, and me, a mother of 2 pregnant. Breastfeeding, But it didn't deter me. I just felt that I'll give it a best shot and just see what happens. So I got a full scholarship. And through all of that, I was having children. I know.
Schoolwork was not tedious enough.
So between that and when I finally got called to the bar, I had my last 4. I know. Thinking about it now, like, what
were you thinking?
What was I thinking? But the inspiration came from my children. So I wanted the best for them. I was their role model. I needed to create a great environment for them. Then after I did the first diploma, I had to apply for another scholarship for law school. And I remember this because I had then had my child number 4. And when I was shortlisted for the interviews, I went into labor early, 3 days before.
4.
Actually, 2 days before. So the day of the interview, I had just had a baby who was 24 hours old, basically. And they didn't think I was going to come for the interview. I was able to convince the doctor to discharge me. A friend of mine picked me up with a baby.
Straight for
the interview. And I had forgotten I had my name tag. So I walked into the waiting area, and this interview is highly competitive. So you're looking at about 6 high court judges, very serious practitioners, going to ask you serious, because it's like an academic scholarship, so you have to prove yourself. So I remember going into the reception area, and the lady who was managing the looked at me was like, what are you doing here? You're supposed to have had it. Everybody's like, yes. And she told the others, like, wait, this woman has to go in next. Because she had told them she just had a baby, she's not going to make it. So they were going to actually arrange another interview for me. And I turned up. So I walked in, and you could hear a pin drop because the panel weren't expecting me. And he said, hold on, you just had a baby. I said, yes. Are you sure? I said, I'm fine. And I sat down.
With your name tag on your hand.
My name tag. And he said, that's a name. So when did you have this baby? I said, on the 8th of April, which was, well, I think this interview was probably on the 10th. And you were here? I said, yes. And it was the shortest interview, sweetheart. I mean, they just asked me 2 questions. They said, you can go.
Go look after your baby.
And I sat in the car and went. A week later, I got a phone call. And I think that the Honorable Society of Lincoln's Inn, which I belong to, who were responsible for these interviews, were more excited about it than me. They said, you got it, full scholarship. So then I started law school proper. Then you'd have thought I would have ended there. No. So I had another 2. Then I had my boy. Finally, it was all girls. And then the 5th one was a boy. And then the 6th one, I thought, okay, maybe I have a playmate for him. And then a girl came.
Then full stop.
And full stop. Yeah. So, of course, finished law school, then started to work. Throughout, it had been people guiding me. And it was always people that I didn't expect to, even in my career. So I worked for a little while as a barrister in the UK. I was doing very, very well. And at some point, it became very expensive, 6 children in private school. Actually, 4 of them were in private school. My mom said, look, bring them back to Ghana. They need to connect with their people. Mm-hmm. So the plan, as most people would do, would be take them to Ghana, leave them there for a little while, amass this fortune that you never amass anyway. Because family is first, children are first, and come back and pick them. And within 2 months of bringing them to Ghana, I knew that it was the wrong decision. And so I was here every month. And then again, one lunchtime, I arranged a meeting with another boss, somebody from the past, just to update them. Like, what's going on? I mean, I was very good at doing that. I'm still very good at doing that. Hey, let's just catch up, And then we had this meeting. He's like, oh, so where are the children? I said, they're in Ghana. What are they doing in Ghana? I said, you do know I'm from Ghana. I said, I actually didn't remember you were from Ghana. He said, okay. You do know that we are responsible for the liquidation of Ghana Airways. I said, you are? I said, yeah, PricewaterhouseCoopers is the official liquidator. And we've been looking for an insolvency lawyer. It's only a 3 months consulting thing. Would you like to be referred for it? Just at the time that I was thinking, I made a wrong decision. And cut a long story short, the position was given to me, and that's how I joined my children.
Before we continue, let's go take a message from our sponsors.
Restoration.
Me? Let's go. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. I'ma keep winning till the world stops. Independent women, let's go. Keep up with me, come on. Winning till the world stops spinning. Keep up with me, come on, let's go. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. Independent women, come on, now let's get it. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. Africa, you feel me? Come on, now let's get it.
New styles from Darling. Find your beautiful.
GTP, timeless.
Breakfast good day, every day.
Nestle. Good food, good life.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Madam Hisense.
Mera fefe. Unye bibiana.
Ani o Madam Hisense. Ejumenti ya na me impontem. Nti na nka me pe microwave bi baako. Na ya me de aka me nkwan no me fo e papa bi hye. Na ya so unhwe we no rice cooker no. Na nka me de ano amo eni ampesie no metumi nya adaaje. Ahwe me series ne kama.
Mera. Memwa wana.
Madam Hisense, me the gas cooker na me hia o. Me e caterer, inti me hia gas cooker me de be nnuane different. Na at the same time, na sans wo oven na me de be bake. Na masade agrele me na.
Madam Hisense.
Hello.
This year dem pese me boa me yere wo kitchen. Na me ya blender. Blender me timi dia nyam dia boa no. Na fe so me timi di aye juice dia ma nkola no.
Abusiafo, say the demand na doson. Obi aso ne request. Me ba cha mumra. Munyina mumra. Every 18th October, I come 8th November. Hisense garden yamenyina. Ya titi so say, I am the first ever Hisense kitchen appliance promo. Gas cooker, electric cooker, rice cooker, microwave oven, blender, kettle, steamer. Hisense yamenyina ye papa. Entry power. You use so nya den. Na dia ye dia Hisense yamenyina ye stainless steel. Inti amano nyina ache. Wokachi ni amadada ni nyina. Amra so say wupie gu baabi. Na tutu mika ko Hisense showroom bia. Kan hu say ya titi so say I am the first ever Hisense kitchen appliance promo. Hisense everyday prices for everyday people.
Breakfast good day, every day.
Nestle. Good food, good life.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
I remember the days I just couldn't go to the gym because it was that time of the month. Yas extra long sanitary pad took the worry away. Easy.
Yes, comfort, I got. Yes, confidence, I got. Yes.
The new Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad is the joy of every woman. It is extra absorbent and fits perfect. Don't allow anything to hold you back when it's that time.
Wow.
Yes.
Feel confident, stay fresh.
Hi. Is it supposed to be that time of the month?
Yes.
I got. Yes, confidence, I got.
Yes.
We got yes protection, I got.
Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad for extra comfort.
We got yes protection.
Breakfast good day, every day.
Nestle. Good food, good life.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
So this week, Hisense took me to meet another loyal fan. Let's go see the level of excitement this fan got on seeing us. Well, it's another week and it's time for the Restoration Hisense Super Crazy giveaway. Last week was crazy and this week is going to be another crazy giveaway moment. So you know what? Just join me. Let's see who gets to take that special something from Hisense. Follow me. Who sorry? Oh, ferry me. Oh, man, ferry, bra. Yeah, too. It's a say. Yedenya say na and me bestra wa enye bone ya nominate you say e was say ba na ye bebo wa baso if we say open restoration wani je ho o hwe na me ansa na mebo wa baso pese me bisa say dey na open wo show ne ho pa
wait there no lady na
maybe the okok wait
okok serve
na e dey na ma wani ka sai pitu
me hwe na fe na me mobo yes
nti se ne ye ba ya mba ne bone Hisense adaroma omo se ye mra na ye mebo wabaso se uguso a wo hwe restoration a wo boa ye se ye show yi ebe ye kese na akọ amane aman so nti ene ye ba ya mba ne bone ye ba se ye ba be che wade Hisense yembra. Na yembra meche wade. Na achede na yede ebro no kra medru ha mani agemo. Achede no chese me hu de wo ye na ma mani agemo. Me patcho mo fa ma achede ne mbre me. Hisense yembre wo gas burner. Nti ene odoso mu e. Me hu se wo burner bi wa ha sei na wo burner no. Ase won hye nye guy. Hisense adaroma almost member wo burner eye guy. Obi adru ha obehu se wonye just Indomira. We international Indomira. Inti Hisense for se memfa we emra mecho. Inti dia na wo e ka chere Hisense.
Acho ne mi wo kan se nyame hyerom me da o masi bebre.
Yes, yeah, that's bebre. Ansa na mekọ no so ye Indomie mami o. Ene medi we Indomie.
Acho yo mate.
You end me trying to ye Indomie ne fast mami na menje ko. Emfa ho ne baabi a wo. Emfa ho ne baabi a wo te. Se wonya ekoye Instagram ana ye Facebook na koja your message e wo restoration with Stacy. Ana Stacy I'm watching on Facebook ana say Instagram restoration with Stacy ana at Stacy I'm watching GHR. Ye bebo mode ne aba besra. Na wo so wonya wachede kama every Hisense to say ne yenua bai enye. Na yenua bai de ne mani brain pa because minim say ochuna by this time na ne ben and wasesano. So that was the Hisense super crazy giveaway on restoration, and today someone in our audience will be going home with something amazing from Hisense. So Cynthia, getting that deal from Ghana Airways and coming back to join your kids. I know it was going to be exciting, but with a change of environment, you now had to leave people you knew in the UK, come make new friends, new business partners. How difficult was that?
The decision to move back was something I prayed over. In fact, there were prophecies that came, right? Said I was to move, and this really was supposed to be where a lot of things.
So it was like a confirmation.
It was a confirmation of that. So when my husband brought the children the first time, then my husband at the time, my ex-husband at the time, decided that he was moving. And I came, I knew that it was a word from God. Then the boat started to rock. Okay, so a lot of us as Christians, there are times when we pray, we get confirmation. God said, this is what you're supposed to do. Then as soon as you embark on that journey, you think, was it really hold God? On, is it God or was it me? You know. Because the series of events that happened in succession confused me. You know, so I came to Ghana, was the legal advisor to the government of Ghana and on the liquidation of Ghana, which was in itself a big deal. Mm-hmm. And then my marriage started to suffer. Yeah, my marriage started to suffer, and there were a lot of problems, and which obviously culminated in me having a divorce. So I had a home in England still. So I came to England one of my trips. One of my children has eczema, so I would get repeat prescriptions for them. So the typical thing for me to do, I lived at the time not in London, but in a village near a place called Wellingborough, which was a bit further up. So I'll come to London, and I'd always wait and spend the weekend and go up there. I had somebody who was house sitting for me. Mm-hmm. I didn't really want to rent the house out, so I had the house there. And so my routine visits to Wellingborough, we were the only black family at the time in that particular village, as they call it, which is a countryside. So, and I had 6 children, so obviously I was
famous,
a bit of a famous person there. And they found it intriguing that a black, she's not only a barrister, but she's, they had 6 children, and they went to the local private school. So went in there, the nurse who was there saw me and said, what was the last time you had a smear test? Like, I don't remember. He said, do you check your breasts? I said, no. He said, I'll show you. Did you know how to do it? I'm like, no. So come into my, So I went in there. She held me up against the wall. She showed me how to test it. Then she found something, or she said she found something. I think I can feel a lump. Anyway, don't panic. How long are you here for? I said, another 2 or 3 days. He said, I'm going to call Kettering Hospital, which is the local hospital, and try and see whether they can get a test in. But I just want to be sure that everything is okay. So I went, had that test done, came back to Ghana. About 2 weeks after that, the young guy who was house sitting for me, letters will come and he would open the letters.
Just to check what it is.
And then check if it was an important letter. So he said, Gold Street Medical Center. He said, can you please call them? Do you know, honestly, I'd forgotten that I had gone for a smear or, a test to check, So I called them. And first time I called, the lady who I was supposed to speak to wasn't there. She had gone for lunch. Then the second time I called, she picked up. And her words to me was that, are you sitting? She said, are you okay? I said, is there somebody with you? I said, no, I'm in my office. What's the problem? She said, well, I don't mean to alarm you, but the test results came. I said, what test results? I'm not pregnant. And we laughed. So I didn't have a pregnancy test, so what are you talking? Said, the test to find out whether the lump was cancerous came back, and unfortunately, they found cancer cells. And I remember exactly where I was sitting when that news came. I was sitting in my office, my associates were on the other side. And one of my associates, who happens now to be Ghana's ambassador to India, Michael Quay Jr., said they saw they turned and looked at me and I'd gone pale. So I just sat there. I just sat there. And that's when I realized that strength for me comes from within. And having to rely on a force that wasn't my own. Okay. Because when I recall it now, it must have been God. So I just sat there for a little while. And the first thing I remember doing was saying, I need to cancel my appointment, so I've got a headache, I need to go home. And I went home. And I went and sat on my bed. And I think the first words that came out of my mouth were, God, okay, I don't understand this. I mean, for me, God is my father, right? I'm like, come again. I was an only child, and I always prayed to have siblings. You answered that prayer by giving me 6. You're not telling me that you gave me the 6 so that somebody else is going to come and take care of them. I mean, I don't understand. You assured me that the right steps to take before coming to Ghana was to come here. We prayed over it. There was prophecies, confirmation. Then my marriage is sort of failing. Now you're telling, I said, I'm not going anywhere. And that was the conversation that I was having with myself. And I didn't tell anybody for 2 weeks. The first thing I did was, okay, how much money do I have? And I started looking through, I'm a lawyer, have I done my will? What assets do I have? Took a notebook, started writing down bank account details or things I could share with. So I did the practical stuff first. And then I started to do research. Okay, what are the chances? So mine was discovered early. What are the chances of me surviving? I mean, I needed to educate myself what the options were. And then I realized that, I can beat this. Look, I've had 6 children and gone to law school. Come on, really. I'm not going anywhere. So I took a trip. So I wanted a second opinion. So I booked a flight, went back to England, went to Harley Street and paid for another test. And they came back and they said, yes, but it's early stages. So you have to have a lumpectomy and remove it. And they gave me all the. So I came back and then I called my mom. My mom's reaction was, so I'm the voice like, the 10th, you're good, how are you? Well, I have some news for you. What? I said, well, I have cancer. She screamed. I'm like, hold on. Why are you screaming? Oh God, oh Yehovah, oh God. I'm like, Mom, sweetheart, just calm down. Oh, are you okay? Let me call you back. But she put the phone down. So now I'm worried about this woman. I'm thinking, she fainted. What's going on with her? And then she called me back. I'm like, hold on a minute. Do you remember one thing you taught me is faith?
Yeah.
I said, hold it. She said, I know, but I said, calm down. I'm not going anywhere. Then she drove to me. And then, of course, okay, so I'm like, you can't see the cancer on my body. So why are you holding my hand and trying to see whether So just after I'd received the diagnosis, my ex-husband at the time there was a separation, he had left. Then I was attacked by armed robbers. He came to my house. My 6 children lined us all up. And I remember this, and I'll share this for you to see. So I was working, and so I do often, I lay on the sofa and fell asleep, but I had my Bible next to me. And the night before, I had read and recited and prayed Psalm 91. Okay. So the Bible was now me. And then the early hours, I just heard a big bang from the back of the kitchen. These armed robbers came in. They rushed, the bedrooms were on the other side. So they rushed into the kids. And then I screamed and said, I told the kids, calm down. Don't do anything stupid, calm down. These kids were asleep. They went and pulled them all out. So I was sort of sitting there, and the sofa was there, and they lined up the kids there. And I was sitting here, and one person was standing behind me with a gun to my head, and the others, where are all the monies? Where's the jewelry? My X5, brand new X5, they took it, all sorts. But my kids were sitting there, and I was sitting there, and I was as calm as you could ever think. Calm. And what I want to share with you is this. I knew they couldn't touch me. There was an aura. I knew they couldn't touch me. I was happy for them to take anything material, but I knew they couldn't touch me. And my kids would tell me later that it was my calmness that calmed them down. Okay. And I do believe that when I prayed, what does Psalm 91 say? I know the Bible is the living word. So I could just calm that they came and, stood and did that, took everything. I'm like, so then I was chickies. I had 2 cars parked in the driveway. They said, where's the key to the car? I said, which of them? The X5. Are you trying to be I looked at him. So it's there. He took it and he walked. So it was a very difficult time, And of course, I went and did my surgery, did all of those things. And then I had another scare because it came back. It was another breast. Again, it was found early. So twice I've had the lumpectomies removed.
I have been there. When you get sick and you bounce back, it's never like it used to be. You need time. You need faithful and loyal people to hold you till you finally find your feet. Did you go through such experiences?
See, I found out how introverted I was when I became ill, because I'm seen as a very extroverted because I know a lot of people. But when in crisis, I realized this, and I can trace it all back to when I was a child. I need to align myself first with something. Yeah. I need, and for me, faith and God and the Word does that for me. Okay. Once I'm aligned, then I can share. Okay. And then when I share, I become the one who speaks. Everybody else is like, I'm like, calm down. Hold on, what's your problem? So I remember when I forgot this one, I told my children. So then when I was about to travel to do the surgery, I lined my children up again. And they're like, what have we done? Are we in trouble? I said, and I'm like, well, and then my younger brother sat with them. And I said, oh, well, have you heard of something called cancer? My oldest one obviously was old enough to understand. She's like, yeah, and... And I said, well, I did this test and they said, and what does that mean? And I said, well, that's why I've got cancer in the breast. And she panicked. I'm like, hold up. What was panicking
I'm not
for?
Going nowhere.
I'm not going anywhere. And she's like, Mommy, I'm like, listen, do I look like somebody who's about to go somewhere? But it was because I had the faith, I had gone somewhere, saw somewhere. So I knew, and me and God had that conversation. I'm not going anywhere. There's so much you want me to do that I haven't done. And I have to do those things. So you know what? We will
relax.
Talk. Yeah. So for me, it's more about having that faith within me. I don't share too much. In actual fact, I can say that this is the first time I'm sharing a lot of the things that have happened. Never, I don't share.
I'm really humbled.
I don't share.
I think we should give it up for her.
But even in the dungeon and the darkness, you see, there's always a midnight before daybreak.
Yeah.
And one thing I also found out is that when you are in those dark moments, when it's midnight and the lights are dark, no matter what you do, you just have to lie down and sleep and wait for the daybreak.
Yeah.
whether you scream and shout, it's not going to do anything. So for me, I've learned that when I'm going through those dark moments, it's a peace, be still. There's power in the word. What we say about ourselves, what we say about people. God has given us that power to be able to pronounce. And so for me, that's what it is. So sharing with people, I had tremendous support from people that eventually found out. But what changed it for me was what I said. I think what we say about ourselves has a lot of weight. So when you wake up in the morning and you look at yourself and say, I'm beautiful, I'm favored, I'm blessed, you walk in it. That's what it is. God has given us all that power to be able to pronounce.
In a few days, you're going to be 50. How does that feel?
I'm thankful. When I was turning 50, because of course, apart from that, another thing that I'm known for, and I will share this on this platform, of course, I have a law firm, but we talked about the singing thing bit, right? Okay, so a very good friend of mine, Reggie, who you all know as Reggie Rockstone, I grew up with, then pulled me into the creative arts because we were socializing, and he was like, oh, that's my lawyer. I'm like, dude, I'm your friend, But as I did that, he would introduce me to artists. And then, to cut a long story short, I sort of became the go-to lawyer for many artists. I think the biggest person that everybody associates me with, of course, is Sarkodie. I'm Sarkodie's lawyer. See how God works. I wanted to be a singer, right? He brought me the other way. With my business strategy background, my legal strategy background, I now advise artists on building sustainable and viable businesses. So that's what I'm known for. So I have a company called Africa One Media. Under our management, of course, Sarkodie, we do business management and legal advisory for. I've worked with, Samini is under our management. I've worked with quite a few, Rocky Dawuni, Bisakede, quite a few of them.
Okay.
So see, God knew that I had a passion for the creative arts. But he knew, trust me, if he had made me a singer, I probably wouldn't have lasted. Wherever you find yourself, there's a reason you're there. I worked in various fields, right? In the shops, I probably cleaned, I did all sorts. But the skills I learned there have all become my strengths.
We have a very beautiful way of celebrating people on this show. And we actually love to be the first to do everything. And since your birthday is coming closely by, we want to be the first.
Oh my God.
To celebrate you.
Okay.
So by kind courtesy La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, we have this special treat for you.
Happy birthday. Oh my God. Oh wow.
Get on.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Cynthia at 50 years. Thank you very much, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. We're grateful.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Oh, wow. Life begins at 50.
Yeah, not at 40 no more. But you know 50 is the new 20. Yeah, so you just turned 20.
Thank you.
Live life. But that's not all. We still have a Hisense crazy giveaway coming up. So audience, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's see what's gonna happen. If you cheat, we'll go to court. So as we wait, I'd like to acknowledge students of Multimedia Institute of Ghana, located at Opera Square. Come on. Thank you very much for passing through. I really appreciate all of you. And I hope that as you watch, you're learning. I have my horn here. Yes. And Cynthia, you can actually pick one envelope.
Okay, so
favorite color?
I'm just going to go for yellow.
Okay.
For yellow.
All right. So let's see. Are you ready, our audience? Okay, so let's start with you. You can open yours now. What's happening? What's happening?
Thank you.
Oh, you have thank you. Oh, but thank you for coming. Okay. So, can I have my winner who has congratulations? Come on. Okay, darling. So you get this from Hisense. Thank you very much. And congratulations. Okay, thank you very much. And this is our Hisense Super Crazy Giveaway moment. So now we're done with our audience, and it's time for our guests. Hey, the singer.
I know, where's Ghana Boy when you need him?
Hey.
I get a kettle too. Thanks for coming.
So Cynthia gets a Hisense kettle, and I'm sure that kettle is going straight in the corner of your office.
It is coming. Actually, that's true.
Yeah. Coffee.
Exactly.
Tea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you very much.
Oh, wow.
So we will be in your office.
It will be.
Yes.
It will be in my office. Thank you, Hisense.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
By Kind Ketsi Lexter Ghana, we have Yas products for you. So
thank you so much.
Thank you to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Really? I can see something else coming. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, I love cushions. Oh, you got a yellow one too.
You love yellow?
Yes. This is going to my office too, by the way.
Yes, it has to.
Oh, restoration.
With
Oh my goodness me. Thank you. Oh, wow.
You see? I've given you total
my
package.
50th has come earlier.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, and thank you.
So this has been Cynthia's story. Don't forget, it's her big 50. And you'll see me at her party in my all height, and we'll be chilling. Yeah, the chilling is on. So always do remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you.
Amen.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you so much. Oh, amazing.
Welcome to the end of the tunnel. I see a bright light shining through, and it's just for you.